everyone, this is Silas from AsianCultureVulture.com. I'm back from Toronto. Catch all the stories from there on the site www.asianculturevulture.com. I'm now at the London Film Festival, my home city, and a festival on our doorstep. And we're here at the Mayfair Hotel in Mayfair, one of the most exclusive parts of London, to meet some directors who've had the world premieres of their films here. So join me inside and the ACV team as we interview the directors for the London Film Festival. We're about to talk to the director of Rajma Chawal, Leena Yadav. Had its world premiere here at the 62nd London Film Festival on Saturday, just a couple of days ago, and we're here to talk to her about the film. Leena, welcome to Asian Culture Vulture. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm good and I'm happy.
Tell us a little bit about the title. It's a very intriguing title, Rajma Chawal.
There was a key scene in the film which, where the boy is asked, it's a father-son story. It's about generation gap, it's about communication gap, it's about the new modes of communication. So within that, I think Rajma Chawal, the boy is asked very early in the film that who eats Rajma Chawal with a spoon, and he's like, I do. So it's about this generation which asserts itself, which doesn't want to just blend in. So wanting that individual, this is my thing, and also blending into a family situation. And that's what life is, I think, in most parts of the world now, with the whole thing. So Rajma Chawal was actually suggested by Rishi Kapoor. And I liked it because I thought Rajma Chawal, within all these gaps, is something that we Indians are so emotional about, and it's timeless.
How did you manage to get Rishi Kapoor, who is a legend, of course, of Indian cinema?
It was, I guess, easy in a way, because we got a meeting with him. I narrated the script to him. He really liked the idea. He probably found some kind of connect with his own relationship with his son somewhere in there. And I think it's something so universal that everybody has an angle to the story, So, the narration, and he loved it, and we went for it.
So it's a kind of very personal story for you as well, because in the intro you talk about your father and yourself, and was that really the inspiration for the film?
Yes, actually, not just that. Also, these days when I go to restaurants and I see a group of people sitting together and they're all busy on their mobiles, I find it really strange. I remember about 5-6 years back, I was at this party for New Year's, and generally in India, at the strike of 12, the networks go completely blank because everybody's dialing in. And I was thinking, nobody's wishing each other, they're all busy trying to call someone on the phone. So it is those times that we live in. I know of families that talk to each other on their mobile, even in the same house. The mother's calling the kids, come down for dinner. And for me, I think we lose something with that, When you look into a person's face, written, and that communication can be misread and misinterpreted. And that's why whenever you're in a crucial conflict in life, I think it's always better to have a face-to-face communication.
I thought there was a beautiful arc with your father-son relationship. And your previous film was very centered around women. So what made you want to focus more on the male and father-son relationship?
Well, I want to make all kinds of genres, all kinds of films. I'm hoping to make an action film very soon. So it's actually human stories that draw me in. And I like stories which tell you something or connect you and make you give a mirror to you in some way, and make you analyze something about the life that you are living, or judgments or something, So it was a story which I felt had a connect to everybody.
And it's also a love story, and quite a modern love story.
Yes.
And in some ways you're covering new ground, I feel, in a modern sense of the way Indian cinema is portraying relationships now.
Yeah. Again, that was inspired by that generation which, and I love it. I wish my generation had that sense of individuality so early in life, of being the person, of becoming the person you want to be physically, mentally. And I think in India, people are asserting themselves, and that's what I wanted to show with the two young people.
So that's very noticeable change in Indian society, that young people
Yes.
have a very clear sense of their own identity.
Yes, and that's so beautiful, and there's so much clarity. I remember, I mean, so many times I compare. When I was at this age, I was this confused, bumbling idiot, and look at the clarity that these people have, because I guess it's also the kind of information they have access to. So that's really beautiful and admirable, and I want to applaud that for that generation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about dating and relationship, and the ground is shifting very fast, it seems to me, as an outsider.
It is shifting fast, and for the better, I think.
What do you feel people took away from the film when they saw it for the first time on Saturday? What kind of reactions did you get?
It's really funny because as the film was ending, I was just thinking, does this film warrant a Q&A? Because what will people... I mean, I'm not trying to say anything big and groundbreaking, but so I was actually thinking, but I think people took back a sense of connection with situations in the film. And yes, it probably, because a lot of people talk to me about, oh my God, I don't think I talk to my daughter enough.
Yeah.
You know, we are also chatting more than talking to each other. So I think it's the small things that were the big things in this film.
How did you find your young actors, the two young people who fall in love?
So the film started with me wanting to launch Anirudh in a film because I thought he was a really fantastic actor. He was waiting for a launch pad. So the film started with that, and that's how, you know, this father-son story fit perfectly with that. Amra's character, the girl Seher Tara in the film, was really difficult to cast. I tested close to about 50 actresses for it because she needed a range of being this really hard person, but actually she had such a vulnerable side to her. So I wasn't being able to really find that connection. And then the big thing was I wanted the actress to have that look, which many actresses would not do.
Right. So you kind of created that.
Yeah.
look
So once
for
I
her.
found her good enough in the performance area, and then I said, now the last challenge is you've got to shave half of your head off. And Amrya was fully game for it, and I ended up with much more respect for her than I started off as an actor, because I have to say she surprised me and she gave her 100%, and I think she's come across beautifully in the film. So
and clearly there are women like that in India.
They are, and
Yes.
it's really sad because our films don't represent the people that we really are. You know, they don't represent the conversations that we really have. And I attempt to do that in my films. I'm sure I'm not even like halfway there, but
Well, I disagree, because I think both your films give both the ones, recent ones, give a very clear indication, one of rural India and the other of more urban and the setting of Delhi. Tell us a little bit about Chandni Chowk and
oh my God. I can talk for hours on Chandni Chowk.
Well.
So yes, so when we knew that the film was set in Chandni Chowk, I was really excited because I find that one of the most interesting places, not just in Delhi but in India, because it's just one lane away and your world changes. I mean, you know, there's no vehicles can go and only cycles. It's got this old world thing, but then there are mobiles, and you know, so it's this really interesting world. I thought it's going to be extremely challenging to shoot there because I wanted everything to be in the lanes. And I don't think any Indian film has actually shot that much in Chandni Chowk. Even the film called Delhi 6 was actually shot in Jaipur, not even in Chandni Chowk. So, but I have to say that the people of Chandni Chowk embraced us, and I had such an amazing team who facilitated, and I think the people just accepted us being there. They said, okay, you know, they got used to seeing us. Even Rishi Kapoor walking through those lanes was not an extraordinary sight for them at all after the first 2 days. He would stop at every shop, eat something, chat with people. So I think we became one with them.
You built a relationship with the people there,
yes.
and that made things a lot easier, I guess.
And that added so much to the film.
Is it the character of the kind of old world that you were looking to capture, that old and, as you say, the mobile phone and the kind of the contrast between that and a very ancient city, really, a very old city?
Yeah.
And that, I suppose that's at the heart of the film in that sense of the two
and
generations.
in a way, the character of Anis, for me, he was symbolic of Chandni Chowk. You know, somebody who's lived there for years and years. and he's the house help who has this conversation with the son when, so he for me signified Chandni Chowk, his love for that place. But at the same time, he's kept up with the times. He's got a mobile. He's in touch with stuff.
And what are you doing next, Leena?
I have a couple of projects. I don't know. You know how the life is with films. Till you're shooting, it's not happening. So it's too premature. But I'm working on some really interesting subjects. One is an action film. One is a love story. All set internationally in different countries.
Are you developing a relationship with Netflix now with this movie?
I'm hoping to, and I'm so excited that Rajma Chawal is going on Netflix. I think it is the perfect platform for Rajma Chawal, especially. So it's been, and I'm hoping that, it's such a brilliant platform, where you can change the narrative in so many ways. So I'm looking forward to doing something with them. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Leena.
Thank you.